Yes, boys, what's good? The badger's already in and on and over. We are starting a fresh video here, so I'm going to keep it fresh. Trying something out here, diddling something out, so we're going to move the badger out of the way for everybody that's joining me late on. Switching it up ever so slightly. I thought I'd re-go live, try something new and diddly, because a lot of the time I'll talk for about 20 minutes after the game, and then we don't reap the full rewards because there's a half an hour chat at the end. So yes, we're in, we're on, we're over here. So let's, you know what time it is. Move back to get his greatness and get that badger in and on and over here. Instant match reaction. Joe Depp enjoyed that. There's no not to enjoy there, is the say. It was absolutely perfect. Perfect result. 4-0. We're now 5 points clear. I've just had a wonderful message off my brother, who is up for, is in on next Monday. So that needs to be responded to now. Perfect. So we've got my brother in next Monday for Sunderland. We've got my other brother trying to get a ticket in Cop. What a day that's going to be. Legendary MVG says atrocious second half, appalling, terrible, love it. Next, please. Yes, Chris Gill, what's good, brother? We are now 5 points clear. 40% possession we had in that game, 4 goals. Lovely stuff, says Kevin Otto. Love it. 40% possession. Total shots, we had 20 shots to their 6 in 40% possession. I don't know whether it's a bit of a strategy just to let them have the ball, but they seem to give us it endlessly, didn't they? D. James, my man, Dan James, 2 clinical goals, cold as ice in front of goal at minute. Well, either is or he ain't, to be fair. Dan James either has them days where he's absolutely a baller or he's slightly off it. And what I would say, to caveat that ever so slightly, he's less off it than he is on it nowadays. He's on it all the time. So when he does have an off day, it's what do you call it? It's a little bit more. It's rarer that he has an off day than he has a good day. So which I'll take. So 20 shots, 7 on target, 3 off target, which we discussed through the game. Don't really understand how that works. 3 clear-cut chances. Beat him on corners, 7-6. Beat him in every sense. Beat him on offsides, 2-0. I thought Gruev were worth his weight in gold today. Solomon with deflected goal. The 2 finishes, the build-up play for, obviously not for the first goal. The first goal's where James just plays on their mistake, which they were doing all the way through the game, weren't they? James gets his goal, brilliant finish for him. Second goal, the build-up play is absolutely awesome. If I remember off the top of my head, I think there's a nice bit of play before it gets to Aronson, then a lovely ball through to Peru, and then a perfectly weighted ball from Peru, Peral Parisli, to put Dan James in on goal. And that's where you just like, still a really difficult chance for him. I've just realised I've responded to the wrong person on there, so I'll get back to my brother now. It's still a difficult chance for James to take because he has to get. He's still sort of 20 yards out when he receives the ball. It's a lovely weighted pass, though, from Peru, Peral Parisli. This is the type of shit where people say, you know, Peru, Peral Parisli doesn't have it in locker, and then ultimately, you know, he does have it in locker, doesn't he? Because that's a lovely ball forward. And then lovely touch from James, and then just rifles it, just sits keeper down. Keeper's not expecting him to go that way whatsoever. He goes high. It's perfect finish. Solomon deflected shot. At that point, you're thinking we're on for another romp here, out. We're on for another 7-0. There were a few chances in the second half, to be fair. I can remember James dragged one wide. Tanaka dragged one wide. Peru's finish, I was buzzing for Peru. Joe Depp says some people never happy. I think Legendary MVG's joking there. You've got to be joking with that second half, haven't you? Love it. Manchester. Wank, wank, wank. This is live, Andy, yeah. I'd never do a pre-record. I'd never set off a pre-record live. You can tell when it's live because... I mean, surely you can tell it's live just on the basis that you've just been watching me on my other one, haven't you? It'd be an hour. How would I be able to pre-record everything that had happened while I'm live on the? I'd have to somehow. That's some Matrix shit going on there. Hey, as I was saying, 4-0, a clean sheet and 3 points away from home. Bring on the Premier shit. Love it, mate. Perfect hashtag. What I will say as well is, you know, our away form is. What is our away form now then? Because there's nobody doing it how we does it. Is that? Let's have a look. Leeds United. There's that many games nowadays. It's a madness in it. But 4-0 Watford, obviously, let's ignore the Millwall game. 2-0 Coventry, that's away. Ignore the Cardiff game that we're at home. 0-0 to Burnley away, that's a decent result looking back at it now. 3-3 Hull. 1-0 Derby away. 2-0 Stoke away. 1-1 Preston away. Got beat to Blackburn Rovers on 30th of November. Is that the last time we got beat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hang on a minute, fuck off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 games unbeaten. And then before that, we know we'll have gone on a run again. We just don't get beat, do we? Blackburn Rovers beat us away at their place. Is what it is. Peru, mint for him to get on the score sheet. I love it when, as I say, I'm not keen on when you're winning games quite comfortably and then your number 9 don't get the goal, but he gets it perfectly composed. Tanaka there, just twizzling on ball, turning on ball, amazing. Farker out. Fourth goal was a class act. So mint from Peru, so composed. There's nobody better in front of goal than him. Is there genuinely well, not, I don't mean in world football, but in the goal's the goal. The goalposts don't move, as I was once told. I don't go on Joe's after post match, dude. It's just I'll be on his tomorrow, hopefully, if he asks me. Top performers, top of the league, certainly are that, mate. I'm loving it. That puts us 5 points clear. Goal difference plus 47. And just to put that into context, the next one on is Burnley with plus 28. And we're on plus 47. Nearly 20 goals, took 19 goals in front. And Sheffield's goal difference is plus 21. We're on plus 47. Behave yourself. 3 big saves from Meslier. I remember one in I believe it was the first half. That was a decent save. The save towards the end he needs to make. He should have made every save that he made, to be fair, but he came rushing out. I think that were at 2-0. That's a good save. So he's in and on and over here. He's back at it, innit? How do, Jay? What's good? Danny Bowden. On and on, Jack, lad. Super Leeds, love it. We are in fine fettle. I'm loving every single minute of it. Did Leeds take the foot off the gas? I think there's half an argument to say we can't. I mean, we won't bother about possession in this game, which is unlike us, but potentially you could argue we took us foot off at gas slightly in the second half, just sort of saw the game out a little bit, or just let them have the ball a little bit, and then they ended up gifting us another chance like they constantly do. So AO says we should have won 6-0. So he's not having it. It's Farky out on that behalf. I think, to be fair, I don't think we took the foot off the gas completely, but I just think it's just game management. We're just so mint at just letting them out ball for a bit. We're still in full control even when we're not on ball. So is that 14 games left with 32 in? So my mathematics ain't great. Looking good only in third gear. That's what I mean. We're not even having to fly out and put it on anybody. It's it's all the same, but if you take your early chance, there's no stopping us, is there? It just settles us in. This is it, boy. Up we go. Piss the league. Peru's finishing side net in class. Yeah, it's just he's cold as ice, isn't he? And I actually think it's a difficult chance to take. I know he's only about 8 yards out, but he's pretty much right on top at goalkeeper, and you've got to be extremely accurate. Your spaces are closed off. Personally as well, especially when you cut across the keeper like that is a much harder finish. If you go the other side of him, you've got more of a goal to go at, just on the basis you can open your foot and you've got more room. Whereas if you're cutting it across, that's a thinner angle because the keeper's got more chance of getting it. So, and in that sense, the keeper's probably not expecting him to go that way. But what I would say on Peru Parisli's behalf, every time I've seen him go through, he does seem to want to cut it back, cut across the keeper. That does seem to be his finish. So 4 goals, that's, like we say, 4 plus 7 is 11, plus 2 is 13. 13 goals in 3 games is a joke. It's some football to be watching as well. Shane Hodgson says, enjoyed the watch along, great result. I'm patiently waiting to rub it in to my Sheffield mate, who at the beginning of the season said, I don't think Leeds they've got it this season. Love it, Shane. What a tit. You've got a tit on your hands there, mate. He's trying to get to you, but we are some muppets and we will never be beaten by Sheffield United, even though we've got them next week. I probably shouldn't have said that, but The boys are beasts. I love this squad so much, honestly, dude. We're on absolute fire. I love this squad more so than last year. I didn't feel like, I don't know that I'm just getting used to Farky Facky Fucker, but I didn't feel like it was a squad last year, even though I thought we was excellent and we went on that crazy run. And I just thought, I always think Firpo's really instrumental to us playing well, to be fair. Like, in terms of just creating, I feel like, you know, I don't think the goal came from that. I'm not sure, but Firpo just bursts in every now and again. He'll pick up ball in like a really narrow, he's not even playing left back at that point. He's like really narrow, and Solomon's gone wide and he picked up the ball and he just runs with it so well. When he's running towards goal, I honestly don't think there's many better. I don't think there's many better than him. I think it's a shame that he's off. I think he'll go in summer, won't he? And I truly think it's a shame. I think if we'd have not had him in the Premier League when we went down, I don't think there'd be any question about people wanting to see Firpo in Premier League again with us. We probably won't be going forward as much, and you know, we won't have as much at ball. And Firpo is obviously questionable defending, but most wing backs are questionable when it comes to defending. So AO says, even with our questionable away form, how many games have we lost so far this season? Enough said. Right, 3 games lost this season. It's a joke. One game lost at home, is that right? We got beat to Burnley with the Solomon slip. Alfred Tam, 1 here for the next 2 hours. Come on, Jack. Tudor Rose, do you think the squad is more balanced now? Certain players have gone to the Prem. Feels there's more stability. I 100% think the squad's more balanced. I think when you're bringing on off the bench, we brought Joseph on, who's, I know, not particularly at it at the moment, but it's still a mint sub. That if we've got Ramazani coming on, who's, you know, you could argue should be in the starting lineup, but it's just Solomon and James are playing so well he can't get a sniff. Nonto's a proper prospect who, you know, at the start of the season we thought he'd be best winger at club. Rothwell coming off at bench. It's madness. And you got Struijk replacing Ampadu at back. Also want to talk about that Ampadu decision to put Ampadu in right at centre back is the correct decision. If Struijk's not 100% fit, which I said this the other day, I should have drove this home a little bit more. We're on Just Joe's show. I should have drove it home a little bit more, but I didn't. Gruev in the centre mid, I'm sick of people saying that is a defensive option. I don't think it's particularly defensive. I think he's more robust than Rothwell, but I think it does Rothwell a disservice. I don't think Rothwell's shaky when it comes to defending. I think he's good when we're not on ball. I think Tanaka's good when we're not on ball. I agree that Gruev's probably surer. His instinct would be more to defend than it is Rothwell. Rothwell's definitely more forward thinking in general, but yeah, I don't think Gruev's a defensive substitution. And I also think away from home, how can you say it's defensive when we're winning 4-0? In fairness, that's not defensive. That's not a defence-minded team, is it? It'll be interesting to see what Farker says after the interview. I'm sure he'll be buzzing with it. I think I've just seen Man City got beaten last minute or something again. It's crazy. Jude Bellingham scores injury time winner as Man City twice give away a lead in 3-2 loss to Real Madrid. It's mental how they throw Leeds away at minute, isn't it? Leeds away at minute. But yeah, Ampadu was the right decision. If Pascal Struijk's not the main man, sorry, not at 100%, because I do believe he is the main man. Him and Rodon that is the partnership. But if he's not 100% fit, what is the point in cramming him in when we don't need it? We're fine with Ampadu at centre back. Ampadu is a quality centre back. That's what I was saying when we were on about trying to potentially sign a centre back. Unless you're going to get someone in that's better than Ampadu right now, we're just better off waiting until we get to Premier League, and then you actually, you know, because if Struijk is the main man and we're going Struijk and Rodon, and that's going into Prem, we're probably going to go Struijk and Rodon, then Ampadu playing in centre back is the best bet, because then he can go. He doesn't then lose his minutes. We can utilise Rothwell, Tanaka, Gruev. That is more than stable in this league, certainly. We can utilise. Then none of them are getting unhappy. They're getting opportunities left, right, and centre to play football. It's the best way. We've done it the best way. There's no arguing about it. 5 points clear. It's up to Sheffield now. They play tomorrow, I believe. Middlesbrough that's a tough game. It's at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Oh, Burnley they played tomorrow. Yeah, they've got Hull tomorrow, so you'd back them to do that. But you know, you never know with fucking Burnley, do you? That'll probably be 0-0. But I'm not worried about Burnley now. I know they've got a game in hand on us, but we're talking 8 points now. You know, we are this is the pull away territory now. If we beat Sunderland, even though I don't think Sunderland are even a threat to us, to be honest, they're on 59 points. We're 10 points clear of them. Obviously, if they win, they're 7 points. But even if they beat us, you know, 7, 6, 5, 4 points, is still, you know, that is still a gap, and that requires them to win 2 games, including beating us. And I don't think they do beat us, especially not at home. So it's us and Sheffield that are going for Championship now title. I honestly do believe that. It's probably get shit for saying that, but I think that is the case. Also, boys, if you'd smash a like for us, I'd proper appreciate it. Joe's been getting into me to actually ask people to like. We've got 40 people in the room and only 27 likes. I'd appreciate it if you could like the video. It helps the algorithm and all that stuff. Cragger, we have a great run in as well. Plymouth last up, going down with or without a ticket. Exactly, dude. Yeah, once we get these games out of the way, this is what I was also saying about, you know, this idea that we need to strengthen in January window because the other teams are catching up on us. It doesn't really matter. Once we get Sunderland and Sheffield out of the way, then we're done now. It doesn't matter if they've caught up with us. All we have to do is focus on beating West Brom, Portsmouth, Millwall, QPR, Swansea, Luton, Middlesbrough, that'll be a decent game, Preston, Oxford, Stoke, Bristol, then Plymouth. So we don't need to worry about whether they strengthened. We don't even need to worry if there's better teams in the league now due to this, you know, due to them strengthening, like we all had to panic about them strengthening. Said it the other week, but I really mean it. Worry about your own wins in life. Don't worry about other people's wins. If you're worried about somebody else's win, you're losing. 111 points, Jack, lad. Can you imagine? Have we got West Brom next or Sunderland? We've got Sunderland on Monday, then Sheffield the Monday after, and then it's West Brom 1st of March. That's first game of March, on the 1st of March. Half 12 kickoff it says there as well. I'm fucking sick of the half 12 kickoffs. I don't know if 1st of March lands on a Saturday, does it? But I'm sick of rushing about on a Saturday to get to the footy. It does my head in. I don't appreciate you saying I've got a big head, but it's artificial. It's not turf, it's like artificial plant. It's not real grass, if that's the question. Legendary MVG, this is a good one. As Meslier got his mojo back, looking a bit cheeky tonight, letting players get in close, some decent saves too. Yeah, he looked strong he looked like he was barging it about a bit as well. He looked strong in the from corners and stuff. I felt like, you know, it looked like, and he would, I don't know, I would say he has got his mojo back. He's made some good saves, hasn't he, of late. Watford a good team, but we are better. They've been in tragic form, haven't they? I thought this might have been one of the ones that were a bit sticky, and then we go and beat them 4-0. It's like we are on the journey now to the title. I really believe that. We are so mentally strong. How good does that sound? And it's true. We are. There's just no. Once we go 1-0 up, we just don't get beat. Number one. Number two, we're going into every game. I mean, I said this from the start of the season. We need to go into every game, expecting to win. Is that in reference to my man Firpo, Joe? Joe Depp said forever that he prefers Ampadu in there. I think that's a decent take, you know, and I think you get shit for saying that. And I don't know why people give anybody shit for saying that he's better in there. You know, he's played centre-back plenty of times. I think that's a terrible idea, though, Alfred, to be fair. I think we're going to need him next season. I don't actually think Pascal, as much as I like him, I don't think he's the answer in the next 3 or 4 years when we're looking to really push on. I think he will be one of the players that we have to replace, but ultimately a lot of them are going to need replacing if we want to do what, you know, Villa have done. Andy, it's so hard to even say at this point, like genuinely, because you know, we've had so many mint games. I mean, how do you go? I mean, you'd have to put Cardiff 7-0 as top 5, wouldn't you? When we weren't even particularly playing that well, when we had when it were the Sunderland away game, I thought we were excellent in against a proper decent side. It's so I couldn't do a top 5. I don't know if that is top 5. I think it's just possibly is, but it's also just this is just what we like. We're a joke. We're so sturdy. It's so good to watch. Yeah, rest for Struett is the best way to go. AO says, I'm starting to change my mind on Bart Farker, and with better players on our team, it's not beyond the imagination Farker can win the Premiership with Leeds. Not sure about winning Premier League with us, but I'm not sure about winning Premier League with Farker, to be fair, but I don't think we'll probably ever win the Premier League unless something wild happens. But, you know, certainly get on some sort of a European charge, can't we? Getting Europa League or something with him in the next few years, that'd be immense, wouldn't it? And that's how we built from last time, really, when David O'Leary ended up taking over. You know, we were in Europa, weren't we, every year, sort of having it out with Spartak Moscow's at World and stuff. They were good days, and then we built from that. So, you know, what do I think of Solomon? I think Solomon's a beast, obviously. You know, who won't like Solomon? And if we can't, if Solomon's available, we have to go out and sign him. He's also proved that he's not that injury prone. He's playing plenty of minutes in a really competitive, tough league, and he's not picking up any injuries. I know he got one early doors, but also with the way we're at, you know, you're going to be running the risk of getting players that are going to be injured also, just on the basis that we're not a Premier League football club, and Solomon is probably playing well beneath his standard at the moment. So if there's not something slightly wrong with him, then he's probably never going to come to the club. But he does seem to like it here, and I never normally go on board with that shit, because I just think players are just here for their own careers, which is totally fine. I'm totally happy for them to be doing their own thing, because ultimately, if they're progressing in their career, they have to perform well at Leeds United. We get what we get out of them. Like Rafinha, never wanted to be a Leeds United player for the rest of his life, did he? But while he were here, gave everything. Moves on to Barcelona. You wish him every bit of success. If Solomon finds a bigger move in the summer, fair play to him. He's come and turned it on for us, and he's been excellent for us. It just is what it is, you know. We'd have to move on. But if he's available and he wants to come, I can't see why not. Mark Bradley, evening pal. Great result. When players perform, we are fine. Whoever starts. Just thought Firpo looked a bit slow at back. Both good chances came from his side. That is true. Firpo is obviously a bit suspect when it comes to defending, but when it comes to going forward, there's nobody like him, man. His ball, his delivery, when he's on when he's 8 yards out over towards the left, so it's not, you know, I don't mean 8 yards out in front of goal, but he doesn't always whip him in from really wide areas. He picks them up at like in line with if the penalty box goes like that, he's sort of in line with the penalty box going down the side, like, I don't know what the word would be, whether that's adjacent to the corner flag or whatever, or just the delivery across. It's just like he just treats it like a 10-yard pass, and he just plays it with a bit of pace. But he don't. I mean, he does zip some of them in, but he just puts it in horrendous areas for defenders. Horrendous areas for defenders. Brilliant areas for centre forwards. Keeper can't come get it. He's honestly, that delivery he does. He's so calm. Brilliant. Sorry, Jack, forgot to like. That's why the badger's there. Get the likes in for the badgers, boys. The badger appreciates the likes. We've got 40 watching. We've had 40 likes, 44 likes, 40 watching. You can jump. If you've not liked it, I'd appreciate the likes. Keep them flying in, boys. Get that algorithm tasting. Is there real AstroTurf, Andy? That is a good shout, Ming. To be fair, can you have real AstroTurf? Nobody knows. I would think I've got an average side head on the basis that most caps fit my head on the middle button, so you know, I think that goes down to an average size head, but you know, big head, big brain, mate. Mark Bradley, just wish we could get something on ball from our corners. If we could start getting some corners banged in, there's no end to the amount of goals that we can get. Alfred, do not fear. He started in, I took him out and brought her back in. I've misgendered him twice there, and then got the her at the end. Take it easy, AO. Thanks for the live stream. Take care and stay safe until next time. Thank you, AO. Cheers for tuning in, man. Everybody loves you in this chat. Legendary MVG says, might be worth looking in to see if you're opted in for the gifted memberships, AO. And you might get one when MVG's making them rain. Christmas Day. Think the Blunts drop points tomorrow, and Burnley is a snooze fest. Agreed, Mark K. Did I say Sheffield they've got Borough, yeah. Decent game. Borough have dropped off a little bit of late though, have they? Yeah, they've only won one of the last 5. That is a real drop off, but they're still 7th because that pack is crazy. I know I spoke about it yesterday, and match preview, but from 38 points in 16th place to 47 points in 5th place is pretty wild, isn't it? Yes, Jay. Got a bit big-headed at times. I thought he played well again today, man. I'm taking that performance all day. J298, great night. Was a big concern before game, but class performance. I agree, man. I thought this would be one of the sticky ones. I really did. I thought we'd get through the last two when we play against better sides like Coventry. Our backed us to beat Fat Flank. I thought this one would be sticky because Middlesbrough have not been very well of late, and I just thought, I mean, they've lost 4 of the last 5 now, so looking at it like that, you know, we desperately need to win that game, which we desperately needed to win the game anyway, but my point is, they have to come good at some point to Watford. They are going to finish around the playoffs. I mean, they're dropping like a stone at minute. The 42 points, again, you know, three points today gets them to 6th. So, you know, it was a huge game from today, and I actually thought they played to perform. I don't think they just tried to upset. I thought they came and actually had a bit of a go, so which does play into our hands slightly. They're still sat in a little bit, but then we sort of countered that with us sitting in. Like, you know, we didn't get too hasty, so you know, we just let them out the ball a lot of the time. Mark Bradley said all season if players perform, we would be fine. Managers have to take some stick, but generally down to players. 100%, man. What more can my man Faka do, man? He's literally got us playing. We're so well oiled. We function so well. No matter who's on pitch, no matter how many. Well, I'm going to say no matter how many subs we made, but obviously the 10 changes didn't work the other day. But I just mean in-game management. You know, like everybody clicks into position. Everybody seems to know what day it is, what's going on. And it is down to the players. It was down to the players on Saturday. They didn't do enough. O'Leary bought his success. Don't deserve any praise. He went to Villa, left with a whimper. I'm not having none of that, Andy. I think that's nonsense. The underlap is going to be so mint on Thursday. I can't wait, big man. I'm all in. Toby Hutt, the last 10 minutes were a bit concerning. It's a 4-0 win, in it, Toby. I take your point a little bit. They had a few chances, didn't they? But we'd sort of just dropped the ball a bit, to be fair. You know, the game's done, isn't it? Oh, cheers, Alfred. Best Leeds podcaster in the land. Next goes to Jay. Thank you, dude. I truly appreciate that. Mark Bradley, bang on, pal. Fair point Prem. I'd love fair point Prem. I'd love him to have a go at it, but I don't think he's gonna. I think he's gonna get moved on. I don't know whether he wants it himself. I think he's done well. I think he might want to go home. He might want a big contract somewhere that we might not be offering him. I think there's been a offer on the table. I don't think Leeds would just let him go. I don't see the point really when he is decent left back, even as a sub. If we got a decent left back in next year, that was to sort of replace Firpo, we'd keep him on bench. I think Firpo's perhaps slightly aware that we might be actually looking to replace him long term. Well, definitely long term. But I just mean like even at the start of next season, if we're looking to replace him, I think Firpo's looking after himself. The idea that Firpo was going to come back from his injury and not try perform, though, I always thought was for the birds, as Simon Jordan would say. But I can't. In an injury, I don't just mean professionalism, and professionalism is, and that is what I'm looking for. I don't just mean like on a professional level. I mean for Firpo, he'll want to finish well. He has to perform to try and get the contract somewhere else. If somebody looks at his statistics and he's not getting 3 assists against Cardiff, my man Firpo's not doing it, is he? So Joe Depp tried to sign Solomon Rothwell and tie Firpo down to a contract. I can't believe how many people don't want Rothwell at the club. You know, again, like whether he's the starter, he's a 30-year-old man. I bet he's pretty mint around. I don't want to be that guy, but I bet he's pretty mint around the place. He's well experienced. He's been in Premier League. He's a Donny in Championship. He's brilliant on ball. He can take a brilliant set piece. If we can improve on set pieces, it might be the couple of goals that we get next year from set pieces. I'm not going to sign somebody for set pieces, just to make that clear. I'm not on that level, but I don't know what else you're going to get other than Rothwell. I mean, he's probably going to be about 8 million. That's what they're on about. What are you going to get for 8 million? I know everybody goes on about Tanaka and stuff, but we also haven't seen Tanaka in Premier League, and I'm looking forward to that because I think he's definitely got it in locker and he's superb. But it is a big step up, boys, as we all know. So I mean, he spent some money, did O'Leary, but he didn't buy his own success. It was an extremely competitive league, and we got some decent players. And he got us playing some tremendous football and took us to the semi-final of the Champions League. You can't... That wasn't bought. Always like the Badger, Andrew Marsh. Cheers. CR81, what's good, brother? Machine. 78 RPM says, what makes me chuckle is that some still don't rate Farker or the 49ers. Yes, people walk the earth still. It's mental, and 49ers are getting it right. Every sub they've made, every signing they've made has been decent signing. They've all come in and done a job for us. Again, I don't want to go on about Firpo's contract, but they're on about negligence or whatever with that. What do you want? If Firpo wants a 3-year contract, we're not privy to the conversations that they're having with the club, are they? And the 49ers, to be fair to them, won't get bullied. And that has to start now. Man City, I know they've fallen off at Boyle, and I know they spend silly money on players, but they don't get bullied in the market. And for that, they ended up not getting Sanchez for silly money. He went to Man U and was absolutely dogger. Who else have they sort of missed out on? Were they looking at Maguire, I want to say, and Man U spent silly money? My point is they don't get bullied. I know they spent silly money on Grealish, but that was just a one-off 100 million. There wasn't really anybody even in for him. They don't get bullied in there, and if you get bullied once, you get bullied always. The reason why Scum can't sign a decent footballer that comes and performs is because they're overpaying for absolutely everybody, because they've set the stall out. We are bullyable, and the 49ers won't do that. They'll have if they're saying this player is worth 10 million and they won't pay a penny more than 10 million, there's a level to that where you have to have a little bit of, I don't want to go down the Arsenal route when Suarez, they're wanting 40 million and they offer 40 million and £1. It's like, you're taking a piss. I don't want them to wind people up with it, but in terms of like getting players that are low down in divisions, I know if we'd have spent 20 million on Tanaka, nobody would have argued with that, with the performance that Tanaka's putting in. But equally, 20 million would have put a lot more pressure on him, to the point where, not that that matters, but, would everybody have been singing AO every time he touched balls? You know what I mean? He's been excellent, but my point is, we got him for 3 million. That's how much he was worth. That's what we got him for. Nobody else clearly wanted him, or somebody had spent 20 million. We've got to be savvy. And then if you don't get bullied, we'll go up to Premier League and we'll be able to throw a bit of money about, and we'll be spending reasonable money on decent players rather than spending silly money on shit players. We can go on about the Rodrigo signing and stuff, and I know Rodrigo performed to some extent last couple of years ago, whenever it was, but a lot of injuries, bit hit and miss. Could be quite frustrating, could Rodrigo, and I backed him for as long as I could, and I know people love Rodrigo for some reason, but we spent a lot of money on him. I'd have rather spent 10 million, what were it, 30 million or something we spent on Rodrigo. I'd rather spent 10 million on 3 players of Tanaka's level, that's for sure. So, we won't get bullied, and I'm here for it. Yeah, I think, Alfred, you might want to rephrase that. Good effort, though. Cragger, when we get to the Premier League, we will need Ampadu in midfield. Buzzing for DJ, just want Bamford to get a goal to put the cherry on the Championship season. If Bamford comes back and gets a big goal, it'd be a nice little sign out, won't it? Like, cheers, easy. I think Ampadu will be minting centre mid. Him and Tanaka, I think, should be a little bit of a force, to be fair. We've got them Muppets from Leeds. Bamford and Forshaw and this, that and the other. Get up, 4-0 away from home. Love it. Smash a like for us, guys. We're on 58 likes, 49 people in the room. There must be a few that haven't liked it, so get a like smashed in, boys. Mingy handing out them memberships like it's Christmas, my guy. Jarvis, you've been gifted a membership by Mingy59, who is the absolute... him and MVG are like Santa Claus up in this bitch. Alfred Tam says oral hygiene is important. I concur with that, certainly. Nobody likes dad breath. Mark Bradley, I think Farker has also been setting up way to play in Prem. Can't just change everything in summer. Loved Farker comment on when players are keeping ball to give players a breather. Class. 100%. That's what I was saying about when we do just sort of let teams have the ball every now and again for 5-10 minutes in each game. It's like that's going to be a feature next season where they have a lot of the ball. So, we are able to sit in as well this idea that Sheffield and Burnley are the only teams in the league that can defend. Yeah, I just think it's bollocks. We can let teams have the ball. We just tend to have a lot of possession as well. But when we've got the ball, nobody panics. Nobody pulls out of position. Nobody can pick us off. They end up pumping it long and it goes all the way through to Meslier, silent S, or they give us ball back like they did for Dan James' goal and we're in on goal. So sometimes, you don't need to be on the ball relentlessly. It's better to actually go, well, what have you lads got in locker then? Go on then. Have a got breaking us down. They make a mistake and we're in. I think sometimes you can get a bit bogged down with being like overly possession heavy, and then we've got tons of possession, but in terms of trying to break a team down, it's like let them have the ball and us sitting a bit and like, well, what are you going to do with it? Let them big dumbos have it at centre back. They're not good on ball, are they, in Championship? We're excellent on ball. Let them have it. Let them make a mistake, and that's what we did today. So they had 60% possession. I think, did I say we had 40%? That's very rare. That happens. I'd be interested to see it last time. When statisticians will come out and let me know when last time we got beat on possession, which probably, to be fair, probably against Millwall last week on Saturday, but Richard Todd, the result just justifies Farke. 100% back the man. He's the best since Marcelo's. No doubt about that. Is the man definitely the best since the best since Bielsa? And it's an unfair comparison. But I know you're not comparing the two. Different club basically, isn't it? Farke's got the 49ers, got a bit of backing, got some decent players in. Bielsa took a poor Leeds United team to wherever we ended up in Premier League 8th or whatever it was. Crazy stuff. Never got no backing. If it had been Bielsa and 49ers, would have been playing some outrageous football by now, probably still in the Premier League in my opinion. I don't think we'd have gone down with Bielsa. I don't think Jesse Marsh kept us up. I thought we were just good enough to stay up that season, and I think Bielsa would have kept us up. I think the players threw it in a little bit. I think they threw towel in a little bit on him. There were some rumblings that a few of them had started moaning, and then when that started coming out, that really pissed me off, truth be told. I was like, who's moaning out of these lot? This man's made you lot here, and whoever's moaning, you need to give your head a shake. I'm pretty much guarantee it won't people like Cooper. That's what I will say about my man. One more shout out for Ming for that membership, man. Thank you, dude. You're a legend. Cragger, that's a perfect thing to say also. Firpo, more used to the English football now. He came in. It's very difficult for players to adjust. He was very much a ball-playing footballer, as they all are, but, very good on ball. He looked like he was wandering about a bit a lot. He probably wondered where the fuck he'd ended up as well. Leeds United in a bit of a relegation battle, like, didn't see this coming, in my career, and he has got used to it. He don't look like he gets bullied or all. I know nobody's really ran at him. We have so much at ball in general in Championship, or very rarely does he get... To be fair, I don't think his one-on-one defending is that bad. When somebody steps up against him, I don't think he's that bad at one-on-one. I don't think he gets beat, and he's dynamic enough and fast enough and moves well enough to not just get beat. It's just when the ball gets put in behind, a bit like it did today, he gets slightly caught out of position in that last 5 minutes, and then they're in on goal, aren't they? It can get a bit... I don't even know if it's a positional sense with him. He just gets a bit flustered when he's like darting back. If the ball goes over the top of him or whatever, if somebody's just running straight at him. But as I say, once we've sat in and we're in two banks of four and the right winger gets it, I don't think they can punish him really. I think he's quite hard to get round. Did you hear Fowler? He didn't want Leeds. Didn't want to play for us. I loved Fowler as well, to be fair. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate you, brother. Dick Dastardly. Firpo going to Atlantico FC in Dominican Republic League. I reckon he's fed up with miserable weather in Yorkshire. He does seem like my kind of guy that does like the sunshine. Making our own stars on equal terms, 100% Bryn, and that's how you cash in. Other side of it, innit? Can you imagine what we're going to sell Tanaka for, which we will. If he does well in Premier League, we will sell him in a couple of years and it'll be for big money. And I know everybody goes in and out of like, just let 49ers spend some money and all this stuff. But ultimately, if they're making Bunsen, it's good for us. I know everybody says we're highest earning team or whatever. We've sold most amount of players or whatever that crap is. Like, everybody's bothered about the financials of it. Ultimately, I honestly trust them. I don't trust them in like, they're not my mates. I'm not like, people go over the top with this. Like, you trust them, like, I don't blindly trust them. I just think they'll run the club correctly. I think they're here to make loads of money. And in turn, They need to get to the Premier League, and in turn, they need to stay in the Premier League, and in turn, they want to get into Europe because they want to make loads of money, and football's all about money now, whether you like it or not. So let's just let them make loads of money, and in the meantime, make sure they keep making correct decisions. I don't care whether they spend 400 million in the summer, or they spend 40 million, or they spend 10 million. If we have a decent window and we bring some decent players in, I don't care if that Moraga guy gets paid 100 million a year. I couldn't care less where the money goes. The club needs to be run correctly. I think it will be run correctly. They will not get bullied in the window. We will do well next season, hopefully. They'll keep us in the league, and then we'll try and build on that. It's going to be extremely hard to stay in the league, but I believe we can do. I think 49ers at the helm will be enough. I still like Radzini for what he did. That was his relationship with the 49ers. Ultimately, he got him in the door. He sold the club. That was always going to be his ambition. I don't know why he got so much shit. I didn't like the Bielsa sacking. I couldn't stand it. But, you know, if anybody thought you were panicking about going down, Radzini will have been pooing his pants about going down. Millions. He must have lost millions at the club. Millions. Can you imagine when there's that level of money riding on it? Because he's just there to make a quick buck as well. He wants to make some money, and it's hard to make money in football. He'd found a massive club. We are in such a good position. It's such a healthy thing to talk about as well when we are in such a good position. We're playing so well. We've got a brilliant manager. I honestly think the club are run really well by the 49ers. I'm here for it. J298, Rodrigo had passion and fans love that. I know, but do you buy that stuff when he's screaming and shouting and, you know, going over to... I don't know. Sometimes I think passion can be... You know, people thought Pontus Jansson were passionate, didn't they? Because he was sat out bitching and moaning after we went out, or that game we lost, and he sat out. Get back in, mate, where you belong. It does my head in. It's like we can all show like pretend passion. Maybe I'm just a moody Yorkshireman, but it just seems fake to me. I don't know. I'm not saying Rodrigo were fake. I'm not having a go at Rodrigo. It's just, you know, is he more passionate than Dan James or Cooper or Ayling or, you know? No, I don't think they were. But people like him because he's Spanish and he's got a cool name and he looks aggressive and, you know. Stop giving ball away, lad. This result just continues to put pressure on the chasers. Agree. Mark Bradley, great show, pal. Proper comments. Put it out there, everyone. Let's get numbers up each time. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you, man. Alfred Tam, didn't you say you wanted another keeper? What do you mean, dude? I'd have put Darlow in, having not seen Darlow in a game, and then when Darlow did come in, I realised Faki had made the right decision, and it turns out that Meslier, silent S, is the best keeper at the club. Has Ampadu got the attributes for the Prem? 100% he's got the attributes for the Prem. Of that, there's no doubt. We've got 76 people in the room, boys. If you could drop us a like, I'd proper appreciate it. Get that algorithm ticking for me. Like this video if you think Ampadu's got the attributes for the Prem. 100% he has. Let's get a poll going while there's plenty in the room. Is Ampadu got it for the Prem? There's no doubt in my mind that that's a big fat yes for me. See how that poll goes down, boys. We love a poll nowadays, don't we? Now that I've worked out how to do it. Kevin Otto, you're well happy, Jack. I certainly am, sir. I'm zinging like a tower burger. I thought that was excellent. Needed to get that bloody off me back and all that after that performance. It was the pits. It was awful on Saturday. It did my head in. It really frustrated me. So it's meant to be back in and on and over and on it and at it in it. That was a lot of on its and in its and on its and over its and what have you. It's. We're all happy, says Ming. We are Leeds, says Alfred. Love it. Sunderland at the weekend. It'll be on Monday. Dick Dastardly. Big game. Hopefully Silent S will manage not to wave to the ball as it goes in the net. It's a brutal world out there, but he did do that. Jack, I don't deny Leeds will get automatic promotion, but don't you think we're getting ahead of ourselves in the future? You can't get ahead of yourself in the future, surely. That is the future. So if you're looking ahead, you're in the future. So yes, I suppose you are getting ahead of yourself if you're looking into the future, because tomorrow ain't promised. Class all the way through the team, says Andrew Marsh. Brendan real good tonight and Parisley good tonight. Aronson just, everybody can say what you want about my man Aronson, but he works his nuts off. I know nobody likes hearing it, but he does. And he's got plenty on ball. He makes us tick. He wins the ball back. Brilliant stuff. Ampadu's getting 20 votes. We've got 19 votes for 90% for yes. 10% no. I don't know who the no's are in there. Bielsa said 3 years, then have to get a new squad or have to change me. Yep. No one could stop the 1-2 combination. Solomon and DJ, good game today. That's from the Guy location. Yeah, their relationship's mint. It's on that. I'm trying to think of Lundberg and Perez hype, and obviously they're not at that level. That was an outrageous Arsenal side, but the lot of back post goals where they're literally just looking for each other, and if it's played short or whatever, Parisley's there to sweep up in it and take some of it, get that tap in. But yeah, they're loving it. They definitely look for each other. I don't know Andy because unfortunately I'm not his agent, so I don't know what he's getting offered. But I would imagine he'd be financially better off if he went somewhere else, because I think he'd have renewed his contract had he been offered. You've got to think as well, it's not just money. Say if it's, let's just put a figure out, like 30 grand a week, let's say, that's just a random figure, I'm not sure what it'll be on. If it's 30 grand a week for a year they've offered him, he's not going to go with that if he can get 20 grand a week for 3 years, is he? The contract goes over a certain amount of years, doesn't it? So, and it's security for him and stuff. He's getting towards that age where he'll want to be sort of planning the end of his career, maybe not planning the end of his career, but will he want an extra year at Leeds United when he's probably not certain that we're not going to try to replace him in summer, and then he just filters away. I actually think as a free agent, he's got significantly more chance of, there's so many more clubs coming in for him because he's available for free, and they just pay the wages, so they might pay him more on that basis that there's no transfer fee. This idea that 49ers let it run down and that we've wasted money on him due to the fact that I think we paid 15-20 million or something for him, did we, over 3 seasons? That's 7 million a year. And for the past 2 seasons that Firpo have had, you'd have paid 10 million a year for him twice, wouldn't you? So, 20 million, if he ends up leaving, you've got everything you needed out of him just on the basis that he gets you 3 assists against Cardiff. You'd have paid 10 million for that this year just for me to watch it live. So, yeah, Firpo, perfect from the club for me, what they've done with him. 14 people not like the video. Get them likes in for me, boys. 81 likes, we're on 67 people in the room, you're all legends. Ming says they want to make loads of money. Yep, that means we're doing great. Exactly that, Mingy. The MVG, legendary MVG, Parag Marath filtered through the Jack translator is Maraga. Is that what I said, dude? Oh, man. Joe Depp just found this channel. It's great, so positive. Well done, Jack. You haven't just found this channel, have you, Joe? You've been here forever, haven't you? Been here for donks. I know, I thought that Alfred Tam, yeah. 55,000 coming soon. Imagine the sound in the Prem. Everybody's getting the extension's getting stick as well, isn't it? Unbelievably. People saying, oh, it'll all be corporate and stuff, but it's just going to go higher, isn't it? It's not really, the sound's not going to be affected. It'll actually pin it in more. I'm the acoustics man. Pin it in more. It doesn't really matter if they're not making 100 loads of noise up there. It's going to echo. It's going to be electric, and every game in the Prem is going to be wild. This idea that I've been telling Road every home game this season, other than in Cup, thank God, and the atmosphere's mint. It's just we expect to win, we need to win, and it can get a bit hostile. But when we get into Prem, every game's massive in it. I mean, we could have drawn Crystal Palace in FA Cup, which would have been a good yardstick. But it made me start thinking about playing Crystal Palace next year. That is a wild game. It's such an important game. They'll be probably in and around us in the actual league table, hopefully. I don't know where Crystal Palace are now. Probably about 15th, are they? So, they're huge games. I remember when we went up and it's just the huge games, teams like Crystal Palace. We got dicked to Crystal Palace, to be fair. I remember that. Crystal Palace are 12th, yeah. So if you're sort of fighting it out with them, going to be so mint at Ellen Road next year. I can't wait, man. Matt Bradley, just hope Farke gets back with some really decent signings. Never did at Norwich. Give him a decent chance. Enough people don't say that as well, Mark, about his time at Norwich, because he didn't get backed. And obviously Norwich didn't have the infrastructure that we've got to actually get backed. But, yeah. No, Andy. No, Andy. I was going to say Andy Rowe voted no, that rhymes. Andy the new Steve, the silverback. Can tell James is full of confidence, gets ball and just runs at defenders. It's a joy to watch, isn't it, brother? It truly is. It's a joy. I get called negative far too often from Andy. I think he's on wind up. He's here, he's there, he's every fucking where. Dan James. Legendary MVG. To be fair, if that was your first impression of Jack, you'd think he was. He was fucking raging at that Millwall game. I was pissed off at that Millwall game, to be fair. I had to check myself as well, because I don't like being raggy on here, but it got to me. I think I've been got twice. I got against Millwall, and I got when we drew against West Brom. That game did my head in as well. Yeah, because I'm not on here to bring the dark energy, that is for sure. But, you know, games are going to get hold of me every now and again. And the more I go live, the more you'll realise that I'm a bit of a moody bastard, really. Andy's not happy about his new label. Joe Depp says you've hurt Andy's feelings. Andy's getting the pelters. It's quite refreshing, Andy, because you always try to wind me up, and then it turns out somebody's giving you the pelters today. Off to bed, says Kevin. Take it easy, Kevin. Cheers for tuning in for both the watch along and this live feed, man. I proper appreciate it. Join us for the underlap, brother. Don't miss it. I appreciate you, man. Silver Steve, where is he? Jack, how do I block myself? Exactly, Andy. He's pushing for that blocking, but he knows it's never coming. He's presenting on just Joe Alfred. Is he? Live for today, we are mint. 100% MVG, loving it. See, all apologies are coming in now, Andy. See, Nick LUFC, love everyone's positivity, and yes, we look like we are being promoted, but let's enjoy what's left of this season first. 100%, and that needs to be reiterated and said 3 or 4 times every morning. You should wake up and go, let's enjoy this next game. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not live in the future. We are going up as champions, but let's ride it out and enjoy every single game to end the season, because next year will be it will not be the same. We know you're moody, says Alfred. West one was bad. Jack, did you see Joe's graphics for the watch along? Looked like he was launching rockets. I did not, no, but it has been mentioned, SST, so I'm going to go check it for sure. For certain, I'll be checking it. Nobody do it how he does it. Silver Steve, the legendary MVG, you mind reader. I did vote against Ampadu, sorry, it was a joke. Outrageous. It's had 32 votes, 84% said yes. 16%, 15% said no. I don't know how that works if it's 84%, but SST, perfect. It was very busy. Busy setup. Nobody do it how Joe does it, to be fair, but nobody do it how we do it either. I'll be dropping in tomorrow for a quick shit vid. It'll probably be a pre-recorded because I don't want to bore you guys too much with lives. Did he? Well, I got 2 goals ruined, to be fair, so which was not the one. But you know, when you win 4-0, still I got full joy out of the Dan James second goal. Today is yesterday's tomorrow. Enjoy the now. Love it, Bryn. Perfectly put, brother. I like the yellow kits, man. I liked the blue Strongbow one as well back in day. Take it easy, Alfred. Yeah, I'm going to do one, guys. I'm going to jump. I'll do a pre-record tomorrow. And then if the boys want me in live again, I will go in live. I'll be back by popular demand. I'll just do what I do as I'm told, boys. But yeah, appreciate each and every which one of you. Spread the love, honestly. If you can share my video, I'd much appreciate it. If you fancy it, if you type in JackCity Games into YouTube, go leave us a comment and subscribe. I'm going to be putting out. I've got a plan for next year plan for this year. I'm going to make a beat a day on there, and it'll be a bit like the shit vids, but it won't be Leeds based. It will be just like silly 8-minute videos where I make a beat each and every day. I'm going to try and do it for 365 days. I'm going to start probably in the next 2 weeks because I've got a bit of a patch where I reckon I can get it done. Because obviously I'm still making music other than these beats, but I'll be making the beats not live. They will be uploaded at like 6 o'clock each day, beats by day it's called. So the first one will be in a couple of weeks. So if you can go over to my JackCity page, type in JackCity Games, that'll pop up with my page. If you can subscribe, I'd much appreciate it. If I can get that up, I think I'm on about 600 followers on my JackCity page. If I can get it up to 1,000, I can maybe start making that pay, which would be amazing for me. So I've never wanted no other than to be able to sit in this room all day and just make my own music. So that would be tremendous, because I'm sick of having about 6 jobs, boys. So, and all my jobs are pretty volatile. So I would love to, yeah, nobody do it how he does it. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Legendary MVG. Shout out to Ming for the super chats. Shout out to Chickers for the super chat. And Alfred Tam for making it rain as well with it. So I appreciate you. Take it easy, everybody. Peace out. See you all tomorrow for a quick shit vid. Share the love. Peace.